Howdy everyone, it's the Hasty Train Maker, Bruce Nadeau, back again, and we are going to finish off the tree that we were working on now that the paint is all dry. So as you can see with this tree, the paint actually gives it quite a bit of, or paint, the hot glue gives it quite the textural look of a tree in my opinion. You can see the grooves coming in nicely. So, and honestly, even after I get some better looking clay, I'm kind of curious, maybe I might just go over it again, even with nicer clay, and just do like little quick runs across it, because I really do love that kind of look on there. So the next thing you're going to need to do here is you're going to need to have a hot glue gun. I'm warming mine up right now as we speak. You're going to need some lichen. I'm going to be working between a medium and a light from Scenics here. So what I usually do, I'll move my tree out a little bit to the side, is usually like to try to get a big clump of each so I can actually have really good. And I'm just going to put this over here on the side of me so you can actually see it. My first clump. And I'm going to go into my light, pull out another big old clump and sit it right beside me. Oh, and I lost my homemade stand. All my homemade stand is two PVA glue bottles standing behind my phone, and obviously they're not doing a good job this morning. Sorry, guys. I'll be back in a few moments. Alrighty, I fixed up my falling phone. Let's have a sip of coffee. And I puff off my cigarette. Put that back into my ashtray. Bring my tree back over. So what I usually do, just to let you, if you can see this, I messed up a little section of clay, painting over glue. Not a big deal, just because it is going to be covered over by your branches. So the foliage on your branches. So I'm getting my hot glue sticks on the side that I think I'm going to need. And I'm going to start right over here. So I know a lot of people, I went through this problem, and I have to thank Mel Boss, the train tutor, for giving, it's actually him who gave me this advice personally when I was asking how to get my foliage to stay on my trees, because it was not sticking on at all. I was trying to use just regular PVA glue, and then I got some Hodge Podge, and that really didn't do a great job either. See these little areas here? When I do get some of those, I just try to go back under into the branch I was working on and just tuck those underneath. Don't worry about these little strands. Again, they easily come off at the end. You'll probably see me with crap loads of these as I'm doing this. These little strands I also like to loop up and around and pull off here. I'm just waiting a few seconds for the glue to set before I mix my next color in. And holy cow, I'm getting some strands all into the hair of my hands. So as you can see, I had two branches on this. One of them is still not covered, so I'm going to go back again, take a lighter piece of the lichen I'm using, just quickly give a little dab underneath here, and I'm going to lift up the branch and kind of blend it in and just hold as this stuff grabs onto the glue. Oh, we'll go back and add a little bit more here. Well, that's the other thing is when you're trying to make your trees full, you're going to be building upon what you work on. See how I lost a piece? I'm just going to fit it right in here instead. So I don't want this piece because it's got too many stems and doesn't look quite branch-like in my opinion. So that's when we come back with our glue. Go back over to the section we were just in. Don't be afraid to go right into it. See how I have my hot glue? I'm just going to go and take the piece I put here and put it back in. Now, once again, when you see these, don't worry. You can come back with a pair of scissors or snips and just snip those little dead ends off. None of my trees at all have any of these hanging left over. They're all completely gone by the time I'm finished. So I like myself personally to start my first branch. I usually go on to the next one, which is going to be these two right here. And once I do my first set of branches and just get what I want in there, roughly knowing what I'm going to have, then I come back afterwards and usually start building upon it. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with a little light. Doesn't matter, just try to mix up what you think is good and appealing to the eye. Just push down here. I usually just rub these a little bit off. I don't worry too much about them until they start getting into my hair on my body. And then I'm just going to keep on churning this tree. Like, see how this just dies right in the front? I'll end up adding something to the front of it to fill it out so it doesn't look like it's a half bare tree that is embarrassing to be looked at. So once again, glue gun, get into the branch. Never noticed how all these show up, glue strands, while I'm gluing. Seeing it on camera. Kind of actually a cool way to make sure that you've got all your little strands ripped off here. Don't worry about anything that hangs off like that. Once again, you can come by and pluck it off. See how I come in here? Usually I do this near the end, but because I can see it on the camera, it's going to bug the living tar out of me. So I'm just going to keep on going around. Pretty much I've got this first branch started. We'll come up and clean up some of this stuff in a bit. I find a lot of this gets hid when you're layering up. And I'm just going to get another branch going. I like to give a good amount of glue just so it rides down and into the shrub. I just hold on to it for a few seconds, let it grab. As you can see underneath here, you do get some more glue. So what I like to do, this is where I come underneath with little pieces and see where I need to go and kind of make it a little, try to make it a little fuller in the back. Use that hot glue that's still nice and hot to kind of just give a little bit of texture on those areas I missed it. See how we're starting to go. Now see these little pieces here I can easily fix up with hot glue once I come back around again. I used to spend so much time trying to fix these and make them perfect looking at first, just to discover it's really useless till you finish going around with the tree. So, okay, done my smoke. A little more hustle here going. Oh, I'm going to need a new glue stick from when I was working on my last tree. Yeah, so just kind of same concept. You don't have to. I guess there's other glues people use, like a thicker Mod Podge type glue that these stick on, but I find this goes a lot quicker and you're able to move on to the next set of trees and let them dry quicker instead of having to do one layer, wait a little bit for the glue to dry up, go back, do another layer, let that glue dry up, and see how you do have a little piece of glue right in here that's viewable. Don't worry, again, this will be covered up as we come around. So as we're getting some nice fluffy trees along here, let's see, I'm just going to peel some of this off because it totally makes it easier to go back around and see where you need, kind of like these areas right in the back here. That's a little light, I'm not sure how, so I'll be coming back there and filling that up, and this is how most of my trees usually go. Actually, let's just do that one right now. Give a nice good whop of glue. See some glue for my other one. Let's take a little clump and push down and stick it on. Don't worry, again, strands. I usually have these like hanging all over till I'm done. Or did I just see that one here? For this video, I'm being a little less hasty and a little more paying attention to what I'm doing. See, just get some of these off here. I generally like to gather a little collection of this, and then it's better for doing bushes and shrubbery on the ground, adding in your foliage. I think it gives a really nice mix. I've done that on several boards prior. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get this up, and then I'm going to go back here and show you how to do the touch-ups. Okay, so I've got the first round of my tree done. As you can see, it's pretty sparse. So what we're going to do now, good morning, don't trip over anything, is add to this and build up the tree. Yeah, she wants to go for her walk, which will be soon. Be soon, Daisy May. Well, not live, I'm making a video. So yeah, okay, what we're going to do here is come, as you see, like certain bushes, like this one, this all here are very sparse. It's not, what I did is I just wanted to be able to have something to work off to start building. So I just take some more pieces that I'm going to want. This is where I have to make sure the stems are completely off for what I'm going to be using, because now we're not just going to be hiding stuff like this. As I get in, you can see all the, that really doesn't look like a tree at all. That's something that looks like a bush around. So what I'll do is I'll take some, remove some of this stuff first from my glue gun, and then I'm just going to take my glue gun and go on the side of this. And this is where you're going to start getting a lot of little mini strands. So I'm going to turn this around. I'm just going to try to gently push this onto here. I got a nice little strand that came off from this last one. And just kind of hold it a bit in there, and you will have to go around and do like where it's hanging right off here. What I do is I usually come around with my gun and I go underneath the branch I'm going to be working on and tuck. So I'm just going to do a really light strand here, give a good pull, see glue, and I will tuck. There. Don't worry about these glue pieces you see right around here. That is going to get covered up eventually, whether you're going to be putting more branches on to blend it in, or you're going to be using some of your flock after to fill it in and make it a little fuller. What I'm doing right now that you can't see is I'm just pulling off a few little strands of glue that I've decided to take a trip along here, like these ones. I was just pulling off a few extra pieces. I find if you give it a little bit of a blow, you don't get a bunch of pullback on it. See how that one's now starting to look fuller? You can see right here, it needs some more. So I'm going to come in here with my glue gun. I'm going to go over what I've just put on. So you can see the glue. And now I'm going to take a bit of the darker color I had going so I can make it multi-tones. So I got a little too much on my fingers coming around to push. Be careful when you're coming underneath so you don't get a bunch of strands. Don't worry if it's going to be puffing up loose in areas. You'll come back, pull some of this off, tease it, and then when you're finally finished and you're spraying it to get your flock on, your fine turf, that that actually bonds a bunch of stuff like this into place, I find. This I don't want. Sometimes you need to just take your glue gun and do a little dab in places and push to give it a bit more where it's falling. I'm just going to actually take a little pinch because I put a little too much glue in here. There, so I'm going around, I'll pinch off some extra excess parts. And see how sparse this branch is? Well, this one was the same way. And look how much more it's already. Okay, so we need to come in with the clips on this. Give it a little bit of a pinch. There. So I'm going to go on to the next one, this little sparse guy right here, and repeat. So this time I'm going to work on the outside. I will take some of my lighter stuff and I'm just going to put it on the glue and hold and let it try to seep into those parts that are open. As you can see, I'm just kind of working it around. These parts that are hanging off, you can just fix by turning your gun upside down, putting a little bit of glue on here, and then flip these pieces that are hanging over and let them bond into the glue. And just like that, you're already starting to fill out this branch. Simple and quick and easy as that. So I still think it looks too light. So I'm going to go over, bring some more, and look at where I think I need to fill it out more. So I think it needs to be filled out more on top. So you just give a little squirt on top like you've been seeing me do. You can see where the glue is right in here. And I'm just going to push a bit more. Look for any stems I can pull at the same time. And push down, and yeah, nice. Look at this one coming out a lot fuller. do see a stem I missed pulling out, so hopefully it didn't get bonded with glue too much. If not, it's easily hideable. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a lot of sparse branches, like in here. Where did I just see that strand? And I'm going to just go around and pick these up and make them fuller and come back. Alright, so I'm back here now. I've got my tree pretty much done on what I want to add for foliage. Now what I need to do is wait for the glue to 100% dry and then pick off little pieces that really don't belong in here. So you go around, take off your little pieces that you notice, you know, hanging around, don't really look proper. You know, that's just part of, oh, I took a little too much off this area that I didn't get glued down proper, I see. And so I'm just going to come around, pick off little pieces I find are stragglers and really don't look like they belong on here. Not going to be many. I'm usually pretty diligent on trying to cover these up or get rid of these as I'm going. So just come under here, take a look underneath what you see under your bottom of your tree. That just doesn't look natural. So see how, and once again, don't worry about any glue that you might be seeing. That is going to go away and get covered up in a few moments. So basically, now that you've got your little, oh, I see an area that I just don't quite want on it. There we go. I'm going to take my little parts and mix them all up. Yeah, see, I got a really nice area of mixed area. That's what would we call it? Loose pieces. Okay, I'm going to quickly undo my glue gun. I have a tendency of forgetting about it for a bit because I'm done with the glue gun. Oh. Actually, I see an area right there. So now what I'm going to do with my tree is I'm going to get my PVA glue watered down. I'm starting to run out. I'm going to have to refill. And what I like to do is I like to give it a spray around, get underneath the branches. Get on top, make sure you get in the middle of your tree. There, I think I should be. Oh, hold on, message from my wife. And now I'm going to go and take my spoon. I'm just going to slide back here because I want to get in closer. And I'm going to just lightly sprinkle, trying to make a little bit of a blend in. The area I want to do more is look for those areas with glue sticking out. And I'm going to just lightly brush over here. Trying to just get enough just to kind of give it a bit of a blend going on. Try to tie some of this in. It's a little wet looking, so we'll come back at the end and show a finished look. Well, it's not all wet and glistening, but let's basically just go lightly over. You want to try to blend it in so you don't have two distinct colors that are contrasting out really hard, or at least that's my way of going at it. So I find that just helps tie in the bushes. So again, I'm just going to get another scoop. I'm going to flip my tree completely upside down and look for all my pieces of glue that might be still showing. Just kind of lightly give a go over. If I can just turn this one around so I can see better in here. Don't be afraid to get some of this on your branches either. It kind of does a really good job, in my opinion, of blending it in, making it look more natural. I'm going around all different angles to try to make sure I didn't miss any of the showing glue. I usually give a blow just because I like to try to. All right. Okay, so there we kind of go. There's my tree. Much fuller. Glue getting covered up. You can see I need to go back over one little area here. As you can see, it kind of gives a earthy little look having some of this on top of flock on top. And you get a nice full tree with realistic, what's the word I'm looking for? A realistic look. I might have to, it looks like some of the PVA or paint got taken off with the PVA water mix. So I'll probably just go over and give some touch-ups right here just to finish off the tree so we can let it dry and then come back and do some base work on it. I just need to find out where the brush I generally use is. Get my water off. I don't want it too wet, and mix my paint into my brush. Oh, you can see my dog and cat going at each other. I'm just going to come in here and look at some areas that kind of seem to get stripped. There we go. And we have a fully created tree. I'm going to do another video on adding bases to them, kind of. If I can grab a good one right here again. Actually, hold on, I'll grab one I've already completed. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just going to move this out of the way. Here's one of my other completed trees. You can see how I've tied in a lot of the stuff. You can see how the tree looks very gnarled, and I've added in shrubbery to kind of give it a more realistic look. And yeah, so that's basically what I'm going to be going at next. Now that we've finished doing the tree, I just need to let it dry from where I've flocked and used the PVA glue on there to lock it on down. I'll let that dry probably 24 hours before I come back to this one, and then I will hot glue the base down. Once I do another scene for it, I'll glue it down and work out around that. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you've got something out of it, and if you have any comments, questions, feel free to ask. And hey, if you got any suggestions to help me out, I'm always up for suggestions. Thanks a lot. This is Bruce Netto, the Hasty Train Maker.